Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have a makeup tutorial on this look right here. So if you're interested in seeing how I achieved this look, then please keep watching. We'll give you a breakdown. So I'm starting off with a clean face and I am going to prime my eyelids with MAC Painterly Paint Pot. I'm taking that on a Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush and just blending it out there. With the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette, I'm taking this yellowy shade and I'm applying that all over the lid just to set our eye base. It's gonna be like a base for the eyeshadows that go on top. I'm taking the Huda Beauty Nude Palette and I'm taking this first medium shade on a smaller blending brush and I'm just mainly going to apply this into the crease, trying to keep it pretty high up there, not bring too much down to the eyelid space. And as you can see towards the end, I'm kind of just flicking it outwards so that way we can get a nice shape that's kind of an almond eye shape with our eyeshadow. Then I do take this slightly more neutral shade and I'm just working that into the crease as well, working on a nice transition in the crease from a darker shade to a lighter shade. To add more definition to the crease, I am taking this slightly more warm and a deeper shade and working that into the crease area, especially in the most deep point of the eyes, to really create that kind of sultry look there, and then just extending it outwards as soon as we get to the outer corners. I do take this lighter warm shade on a fluffier blending brush just on the really outer portions of our crease shades, just to make sure that there's a nice blend there. We don't want any harsh edges. With a flat brush, I'm taking this really the lightest shade of this palette. It's kind of like a skin tone shade, and I'm just going to densely pack that onto the eyelid so that way we can have that really nice opaque shade there. And I don't add any shimmer to the eyes. We're keeping this fairly matte. Then with the Kat Von D Shade and Light eyeshadow palette, I'm taking the black shade from there on an angled brush and I'm just going to line my eyes really close to the lash line to add some density to the lashes there. To prep the skin, I'm just going to give myself a nice spritz of MAC Fix Plus because we want a really dewy finish for the skin today. So I'm taking the Pat McGrath Divine Skin Foundation, and these two together are just so beautiful if you want some really glowing, healthy looking skin. As you'll see, it just really makes the skin look like it's glowing from within. And then I'm just going to use some concealer. I'm using the Rare Beauty concealer first because it's a slightly more yellow tone. So I'm applying that on any discoloration on my face and any blue tones there. But I do go in with the Juvia's Place concealer just because it's a little bit brighter. And I'm mainly just focusing that on any areas where I want to brighten up the skin. The yellow concealer will, color correct. But that Juvia's Place concealer will really brighten. And then just blending it out with my Japanesque brush, making sure that everything is nice and seamless and we don't have any harsh edges there. I'm taking the RCMA No Color Powder on a damp beauty sponge and I'm mainly focusing this very lightly on the inner portions of my face, typically the areas that get a little bit oilier. But this is a very brightening kind of powder, so I'm mainly focusing it in those areas. And then just around the rest of my face, I'm using Laura Mercier translucent powder. It's not very brightening, but it does set very nicely and looks very hydrating on the skin for a powder. So I'm using this on the remaining portion of my face, but not too much. For my bronzer, I'm using the Balm Bahama Mama bronzer on a Delium Tools tapered brush, and I'm focusing this on the outer portions of my face, just mainly warming up the complexion, and it's going to aid in a nice glow. So I'm using that towards the backs of my cheekbones, also running it on my jawline and neck to make sure everything looks cohesive. I also like to run some bronzer on the temples and on the perimeter of my forehead to have a more sculpted kind of look. and add some nice color to the face. For my blush, I'm using Juvia's Place Serafina blush on a Morphe angled contour brush. I use it just for blush because I like the angle of it. It fits really nicely in my cheekbones. But it's a really nice warm toned blush that adds a nice kind of golden flush to the skin. For my highlight, I'm just taking this travel size Mary Luminizer from The Balm, and I'm applying that to the cheekbones as well as on my brow bone. That gives a really nice kind of glowy look. I wanted the skin to look very nice and dewy, so we use that Fix Plus and that foundation, very light powders, and then we are going to put on this beautiful highlighter. I'm applying that also with a pencil brush on the inner corners of my eyes to make sure that that is kind of cohesive and brightens up the inner corners there. So just to finish up our eyeshadow, I'm going back in with the palette and this deeper shade with a smaller compact brush. I'm just running that on the lower lash line, and I do take a larger blending brush just to make sure that there's no harsh edges there. Sometimes the outer corners can get that harsh line, so making sure to blend those out as well to make sure that we don't have any of those edges. I don't really like that look, so I do try to blend those out. And then I went ahead and did my brows off camera. Following up with some Maybelline The Falsies mascara on my top and bottom lashes. For my lipstick, I'm taking Kylie Cosmetics Butterscotch lipstick. It's a really beautiful nude shade, super creamy. So I really loved this shade for this look, but I did feel like it was a little bit too nude, kind of washed me out a little bit. So I just went in with a Juvia's Place lip liner in a slightly darker shade just on the outer portions of my lips to bring back some color. And I just blended it in with the lipstick to make sure it was nice and blended in. And then with that, this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, watching me recreate this. Make sure you check out the description box below. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more of my videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!